everybody and welcome to this video on algebraic fractions. In this video, we're having a look at multiplication and division of algebraic fractions. Now, in the first video, we had a look at simplification, and sometimes what we will have to do is use some of the techniques that we've learned in the previous video to simplify our answer before multiplying or dividing. Now, here we have a very simple example. We have over here three terms with division and multiplication. The first thing is I'm going to rewrite this, and what I'm going to do is replace the division with multiplication. Now, you remember how do we do division is that we tip and times. So we change the division to a times and we swap around our fraction, so this becomes a squared over 6. Now, providing that the only operation between your expressions is multiplication, then we can cancel out. And we cancel out with denominator with numerator. So for this one over here, the 5 in the denominator cancels out with the 5 in the numerator over here. The a squared in the denominator cancels out with the a squared in the numerator over here. 2 goes into 4 one time, and it goes into 2 one time, and it goes into 4 twice. So then what we can write this as is in the numerator, this is 2 times 1 times 1, so it's just 2. And in the denominator, we have 1 times 6, which is 6. And this we can simplify as 1 over 3. So that is an example of how we do multiplication and division for algebraic fractions. Let us have a look at some examples so that we can get more practice. So the first one over here is 12p cubed over q cubed divided by p squared over q squared divided by 4p over q. Now again, the first step is we're going to do the tip in time, so replacing the division with multiplication and tipping over what is on the other side. So this here becomes times q squared over p squared, and this becomes times q over 4p. So we tip and times. So then what we're going to do is now there's only multiplication, so we can cancel. So you have two options. If you want to do, you could multiply it before cancelling, or you can cancel. It's up to you. So the 4 goes into 4 once, and it goes into 12 3 times. There's 3 q's in the denominator, and there's 3 q's in the numerator. That 2 and that 1 cancels out. There's 2 p's in the denominator, so that will cancel out with the p's, leaving 1 in the numerator. Oh, and then there's 1 in the denominator, which will cancel out with that. So then what this leaves us with is 3 over 1. Maybe another way that you could do it, if you're not comfortable with the cancelling out and if you're feeling like it's a bit confused, is first multiply across the numerators. So 12 times p, 12p cubed times q squared times q, which is 12p cubed cubed over, and in the denominator we have q cubed times p times 4p, which is 4p cubed q cubed, and then this here you can simplify. The q's cancel, the p's cancel, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. Any way you feel most comfortable doing those questions. Let us have a look at another one. So in the second one, we have ab minus a squared all over b squared minus a squared divided by a squared over b plus ab. B squared over a plus ab. Now we're going to do the tip in times. So this here is equal to ab minus a squared over b squared minus a squared times b squared plus ab over a squared. Now, what you need to remember is from our previous video, we did mention that we cannot cancel over a plus or a minus. So what we're going to have to do is factorize. So having a look at the numerator of the first term, we can see a common factor a, and if we take it out, we get b minus a. In the denominator, you should notice it as the difference of two squares. So this would factorize to b minus a times b plus a. Times, now again in this one over here, the b is common, so then we're going to get b plus a if we factorize, and it's just a squared in the denominator. Now what we can see is this b minus, the only operation between them is multiplication, and the b minus a cancels out with the b minus a, the b plus a cancels out with the b plus a. This 1a cancels out with one of the two over there, leaving us with a. And our final answer then is b over a. Once again, if you feel more comfortable, you can first multiply the numerator with the numerator. So a times b minus a times a minus b, I mean a plus b, all over b minus a, b plus a times a squared. And then maybe it's more clear to see how we're cancelling and how we get that the answer is b over a. So you can choose if you feel more comfortable once you've factorized and changed the division signs to multiply the whole numerator with the whole denominator before cancelling, that is okay. Let us have a look at one more example. So this one here is x squared minus 2x plus 1 over x squared plus 2x plus 1 times x squared minus 1 all over x squared times x squared plus x all over x squared minus x. Okay, so we can't factorize over plus or minus, so we're going to have to factorize through. So this here factorizes into x minus 1 times x minus 1. It's a trinomial square of x minus 1. The denominator is the trinomial square of x plus 1. So it's x plus 1 times x plus 1 times, in the numerator of this one here, what we have is the difference of two squares. So that's x minus 1 times x plus 1. This x squared will stay. And then here we can factorize the highest common factor in the numerator, giving us x plus 1, and the highest common factor in the denominator, giving us x minus 1. This x cancels out with that x. This x minus 1 cancels out with this x minus 1. This x plus 1 cancels out with that x plus 1. This x plus 1 cancels out with that x plus 1. So what we are left with is x minus 1 times x minus 1 all over x squared. Okay, I hope that you have understood this video and the steps of factorizing and simplifying an algebraic expression when there is multiplication and division. Please remember that an important thing that you need to know for this section is how to factorize first. So make sure you have mastered all your factorization techniques before attempting algebraic fractions. Thank you for watching, and please watch our other videos on algebraic fractions.